All right, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a little bit of a break from personal growth, self-development, things like that. We're going to discuss finances for a little bit today. So in this video, I want to talk about my approach to monthly budgeting if you are in debt. Now, let me just say this right off the bat. This is not financial advice. This is kind of what I used when I was paying off my debt to get myself out of debt. So I'm just sharing my experience, and you can take whatever you want from this and apply it to your own life. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I did, and I wanted to share it with the rest of you. So if you have bad debt that you need to get rid of, so anything that's a high interest loan like a credit card, or student loans that are high interest, or a car loan that is high interest, this is what you're going to want to do right off the bat. You want to sit down and you want to tally up all of your monthly income. So that could be your career, your job, income from that, overtime if you get that. I tend to not budget around overtime because that's not always guaranteed. That's like extra. So you can't always have that in your budget. It's just extra. Any side hustle income, anything that's bringing money into your pocket monthly that you can spend towards your bills, your expenses, and your bad debt. So once you have that number together, next you want to sit down and open a Google Sheet, Excel sheet, whatever you have available to you. I use Google Sheets because I can look at it on my phone. I don't need to sit down at my laptop and open up Microsoft Excel. It's just easier that way, and it's free. Free 99 is the best thing you could possibly ask for, especially when you are paying off bad debt. So at the very top, you want to put your total income, okay? Then you want to, on the left-hand side, in like a description column or whatever, start listing all of your expenses. So rent, utilities, water, gas, electric, phone bill, car payment if you have one, car insurance, things like that. And then you want to basically subtract all of that from your monthly income and see what you have left over. That's what you're working with. Now, throw in a little bit of an extra like portion of money to account for any type of emergency that might pop up that month, whether it's like a doctor's visit, feminine hygiene products if you're a female, Band-Aids, whatever. Maybe $150, $200, whatever it is. I think I did 100. You're going to take that away from that total, and then that's what you're working with to apply towards your bad debt. It's easy. I don't look at the minimum monthly payment for the bad debt because I want to pay extra. That's just how I viewed it. You might want to structure this by putting the minimum monthly payment up towards that bad debt, or yeah, up towards the bad debt under that and under that initial sum to then get what you're working with. But this is the way that I did it because I treated it as I know what my minimum monthly is, and I'm going to 100% hit that every month because that's my priority. But I want to see the larger number of what I have to work with and what I have extra to throw at it. It's probably a little bit backwards for most people, but this is what I like to do. And it was just mentally easier for myself. So once you have that number, every month, stick to your budget. You have the groceries that you've accounted for. You already know all of your fixed expenses. When you're in bad debt, you should be prioritizing getting out of it. I did. I basically sat there for like a year and a half, and I didn't really do much other than pay my bad debt off. And for me, that was student loans, car loan, and a very small credit card loan that I had from college. Finished it in about 17 or 18 months, something like that. And once you have that done, then you can start using that other money to start investing, not upgrading your lifestyle. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make, is once they get out of bad debt, they want to roll it right into something new, like a brand new car, because they feel like they should treat themselves. I don't recommend that. I recommend taking that extra money that you were paying and rolling it over into savings, investments, things like that. Hit the 3 to 6 months emergency fund. Once you have that, start putting more into your 401k or whatever investment avenue that you want to chase after. Again, this is not financial advice. These are just ideas. What I did when I finished paying off all that bad debt was I started saving my money and I put it towards a property, like a rental property. I FHA loaned it. I lived there for the first 2 years. It was 3.5% down. And my other tenants that lived in the property basically paid for my rent and the mortgage. I think I paid like $600 or $700 out of my own pocket when I actually lived there. And once I moved out, it was cash flowing. So that's awesome. I love that route for investment, but it's not everybody's cup of tea because it comes with its own set of headaches, just like anything else. So again, what you want to do, get your monthly income, sit down, start a spreadsheet, list all of your expenses, keep subtracting away from that total number. And the smarter approach, I will be honest, is putting that minimum monthly debt payment in there and then seeing what you have left over, and take every penny that you possibly can in that leftover number and throw it towards that debt to get it wiped out as fast as possible. If you have a mindset like myself, where I know I'm going to make that payment every single month, I didn't worry about what the minimum monthly was. I knew what it was, and I took all of the extra money that I had, limited my expenses, and just kept throwing it right at it. I didn't even count it as like an expense, even though it technically is, because I was just taking such large portions of my paycheck and throwing it right at the debt. So that's my quick and dirty method to sitting down and actually budgeting and allowing yourself to pay off all the stuff that's basically keeping you stuck in life. It's not everything, but when you have a lot of bad debt hanging over your head, it feels like handcuffs. You can't take risks that you might want to take. You can't do things that you want to do because you basically have this dark cloud hanging over your head, and it's very limiting. Once you remove that bad debt, it's absolutely freeing, and it's like a weight just flies right off of your shoulders. So if you've made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is a new channel, and we are trying to grow this into something somewhat meaningful so that we could get people together, get this message out there in bettering your own life for yourself first and most importantly. And then if you have a family or want a family, have a spouse, whatever it may be, improving upon yourself so that you can bring a better version of yourself every single day to the table for them, because that's also important too. Thank you for listening.